I debated posting this because I know how bad it's going to be when people get this answer from me. But there were so many people that asked that I decided, after a lot of thought and consideration, that I will go ahead and respond to the most asked question from my last video, which is, what professions in women should men avoid? And a lot of you thought that those same professions for men that I told you to avoid would translate to women, and they really don't. I don't think that there's enough data out there for me to comment on that. But I've had one military female client who was pretty difficult, but other than that, I've not seen any correlation in those same professions. But I went through my case list. And if you have a problem with me giving an introduction to this, then just scroll along, because I'm about to hurt a lot of people. So I'm going to explain what I have to say. And you're going to have to listen to it if you want the answer. I went through my case list, and there's about 60 cases on my case list. And there are some common professions that I see in women. The most common one that I see is teacher. The second most common is nurse. But those cases are not cases where the female is really difficult or litigious or anything like that. They're just kind of run-of-the-mill cases. The most common profession that I see in the female parties in my divorces, and this is over 13 years of cases. Oh my God, I'm so nervous, is stay-at-home mom. Hate me. I know y'all are going to hate me, but let me explain why. Number one, when you're divorcing a stay-at-home mom, they are paralyzed with fear, and rightfully so, because their whole life is going to change. They are going to have to go back to the workforce. They're going to have to possibly move. Their finances are about to be very different. There's lots of things that they don't know financially about what's going on. And so they tend to stick their head in the sand and stall. And so the cases become very contested and very expensive. The second reason that I see that stay-at-home moms end up being the most common profession in a divorce is that I think there's a tendency, and this is completely my opinion, just based on my observations, they tend to focus so much on the children, and the husband focuses so much on career that first of all, they don't feel appreciated by one another. But the husband starts feeling like an ATM, and the wife becomes completely focused on the children, and they tend to grow apart. So I think that's why it's the most common. That's not hate, just an observation. It's probably my last TikTok. So see ya.
What up, team? Hey, listen, man. Drop a like for your boy. Hit the subscribe button. Turn on notifications. I got a gem for y'all today, man. Listen, it's not every day that we get some solid intel from the sisterhood. But today, fellas, listen, I have a divorce attorney with 13 years worth of statistics and information for us, right? And she's talking about the top professions to stay away from when choosing a wife, right? When choosing a woman. Now, for those of you that's in the market to get married, those of you that's looking for a long-term relationship, here's a gem for you. Can't say I never gave you anything, okay? So this lady said that during her course of 13 years, the most common professions that she see that file for divorce or are in the process of getting divorced: teachers, nurses, and drum roll please, stay-at-home moms. Now, I never thought for 1 second that would be something for us to think about, right? So I learned something today for sure, because I thought a stay-at-home mom would probably be, you know, the best situation for a husband, but it's not. You know, as she describes to you, a lot of times stay-at-home moms, you know, give all the attention to the children, all the attention to the house, and she neglects her husband. And then the husband feels like he's an ATM, where he's spending the majority of his time on the finances, the majority of time grinding and going to work. You know, it makes sense the way she spells it out. And she's so eloquent in the way she pins it out for us. You know, these are not things that we should ignore. You know, we should take this information And we should process this information and execute this information and make sure that we're not we're trying to stay away from these types of professions in women. You know, I didn't know that. But what I did know is about nurses. Nurses act like boss babes. You know, every nurse that I've ever tried to date or I've ever interacted with, they have the same kind of boss babe mentality. And I literally just posted a video about boss babe and how they act. You know, I don't need no man. You know the song and dance. But yeah, I was shocked to see that a stay-at-home mom, you know, they duck their head in the sand. They delay the process. If you wanted to divorce them, you know, they get scared. You know, they're not ingrained in the finances. You know, they're gonna be a fish out of water if they got to go back into the workforce, which I understand. I get that. But fellas, if you don't want to be involved in a situation where you're with a woman that literally is gonna neglect all your needs, man. She's gonna spend all the time with the children. She's gonna be more concerned about the children, what they're doing, what the sports is, what the next activity is, you know, cleaning the house. She's not going to be very receptive to your needs or your types of affection. You know, she's not gonna be sexually available to you. Yo, but anyways, if you like what I do, guys, drop the like, help the channel grow. The goal is 1,500 subscribers. See you guys on the next one. Peace.